Batman Arkham Shadow is the best VR experience I've ever had.
Oh god, no.
Combat comes down to what I think is sort of a known fact in VR gaming, but this game takes it to another level. You are the controller. That means every punch, throw, grapple, lunge, takedown, and sexy flirtatious stare you commit comes from you, baby. It's insane. The Arkham games sort of coined this combat system. I'm not sure if they fully created it though. Free flow combat is a system in video games where you move seamlessly from one enemy to another, while keeping up a combo and doing special moves and takedowns. Spider-Man PS4 uses this too. It's good for superhero games, I imagine. And when thinking about how that system would be included into this game, how do you think that would work exactly? Not sure? Well, you see, I was stupid too. It is hard to imagine, but it is like the simplest answer. Hit markers show up on enemies for a certain amount of time and you have to punch them. That's it. That's the pepperoni rigatoni right there. There'll be arrows, sometimes you have to swipe in their direction. Countering is incredibly intuitive. You just reach towards the icon on your screen. Added with all of that, you can use your gadgets like in the other games, and they build up your combo in the process. You really have to be engaged in the fights to get through them. Even on easy mode, you're gonna be breaking a sweat while going all the way through the main campaign. I haven't really seen a game like this that keeps your attention during combat sections as much as these do. To compare how cool this game is to another title by the same studio, Asgard's Wrath 2, which I just finished playing actually, a quick short review of Asgard's Wrath 2. This game was published by Oculus Studios, same as Arkham Shadow, so both of the games are in-house for the system. Asgard's Wrath 2 was a Quest 2 title, but was ported over to the Quest 3 with a graphics update for the headset, as you can see. It's not a bad game. It's a fun story in the same grain as God of War. The tone and use of scale is very similar, and you can see that the developers dreamed of a game like that, but in a first-person setting where you feel, well, like a god. The combat, though, is something I really have trouble with. It's understandably a little clunky for a Quest 2 game. VR was still sort of getting its foothold, and sword fighting in VR is something that I think still has yet to be fully mastered. You have to give them props. Making this big of an open-world action game with this much AAA status in VR is kind of insane. Even if most of that game is me wandering an empty world, so yeah, I think the media hyped it up a little bit. Why I bring this up is because the combat. The combat in Asgard's Wrath is fun, but the engagement factors are low. Most of hitting an enemy consists of waiting for an enemy to hit you, parry, hit the enemy, and then repeat on every other asshole in the arena. I ended up resorting to my throwing axe for basically like every battle, and then when I got the upgrade that gives me spinning blades every time I threw it, I would blaze through fights like that.
But I just like... Oh, whoa! Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Enemies don't really serve any challenge, or rather oppose any purpose of being anything outside an NPC. They strike you and walk around. They probably shit or something, I don't know, but they don't do much. In Batman Arkham Shadow, however, you have to be on your toes. You're gonna find yourself surrounded by guards with stun batons, shields, guns, just different forms of killing you, which means you really have to be aware of how you take thugs on, and what strategy you're going to use. Even when enemies with knives come at you, you have to physically dodge out of the way as to not get stabbed. This is Batman Exercising 101.
You okay there? Oh, that's weird. Dude, you not look at me like that? What the fuck, dude? Are they all doing that? They all just follow you as they're unconscious. What the fuck?
Asgard's Wrath combat system isn't bad, but it isn't a great showcase of what VR can do. It was more about giving people the big VR game they've been waiting for, but without actually accomplishing that. Fast forwarding a couple years, and this game has accomplished that. Truly. It goes back to this series' main idea. Not once have we had a game that makes you feel like Batman this much, in a way that only VR can. It's fucking amazing, dude. Like, I can't truly show my love for how this game plays without the person I'm telling having experienced it as well, which is sort of the best description I think for VR games in general. I find it always hard to describe how any experience feels in virtual reality, especially to someone who hasn't tried the medium themselves. But this game even more so, since we've had a VR Batman game in the past that, in my opinion, was maybe hyped up just a tad bit much. Fun title for the time it came out, and a perfect example of the direction VR was taking at the time, but I think people were just going in expecting something else than what we were getting. I basically exclusively use my Quest for VR content, mostly because I'm broke, but I would say that this is the best looking game on that system. And I don't just mean in the presentation, the game is so cool when it comes to cinematic lighting, but I feel as though that's almost obvious from just seeing it. This area specifically, like you go from this Gotham apartment hallway to boom, red light covering the walls akin to, it's kick-ass. But what I mostly mean is the way it feels outside of combat.
It's too hot out here. Follow me.
Is it? It's fucking raining.
This isn't a huge thing, it's a big thing to me, but the decision to have you actually have a body model for your player character, instead of just floating, disembodied hands, is a saving grace for me. Look, don't get me wrong, it's been used in very good games. Half-Life Alyx, Superhot, even most recently, Metro Awakening used them. But I will say that was a minor immersion-breaking thing when it came to that game. However, the main reason most games don't use a body model for the player character is because it is really hard to match up exactly where your forearm might be placed, and I am fucking baffled that Arkham Shadow does it flawlessly. I don't know what wizardry they put into this game, but it's whatever they put into the system because god damn, look at my fingers! Look at them. They look so moist and juicy, I just wanna... Oh. Wait, yeah, I still have real hands. Oh. I swear, the way the hands collide with everything makes me feel like I'm actually touching things. It's like phantom limb syndrome or whatever the fuck. Not this guy though, don't talk to this guy.
You took my limbs! You built some crazy machine that took your limbs!
I just haven't seen a game detect touch this good. The Quest controllers also have this setting on them for if you place your thumbs around the Y and A button, it will close the hands slightly to reflect that, and when you take them off, they open. So it just adds another small touch that blurs the line between reality and fiction. I just want to say, for reference, I'm running this on a Quest 3S, and that system is basically just a Quest 2, but it can run games that are made for a Quest 3. And if anyone out there was teetering on if a Quest 3S is a legitimate system to play games on, I don't think you'll really be disappointed on that front.
Oh, I can hit you? I'm sorry, I didn't know I could do that. I thought I was petting you.
I really like that when I'm traveling, I could just be the Batman whenever I want. VR is evolving, and it's awesome that Batman of all characters is pushing this way of gaming forward. Because, I mean, who doesn't want to be fucking Batman? In the end, if I had to give this game a numbered score, it would probably be 2 out of 10. Yeah, this game didn't have enough hot waifus. How can you make a Batman game without any hot waifus? What the fuck were you thinking?
Oh my god. 3 hot waifu.